So, welcome back to Elden Ring. In this video we're going to be looking at a fantastic lightning build that was unfortunately ruined by natural progression in the game. And just quickly before we do get into this video, if you're not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do sub, turn notifications on. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, all support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support me further as a creator, then check out the links in the description, and let's get into this build. So this is a lightning based build. It's a lot of fun to run. You have a variety of different options. However, a couple of things that would have really boosted the build even further for me, I have been locked out of obtaining due to natural progression in the game. So, trying to not spoil it, when you get to Forge of the Giants, or at least Foot of the Forge, do not progress any further if you want to put this build together. Unless you want to get one thing that's going to really help this build out, then what I suggest is, in the capital, clear it out of everything you need. So if you want the full build, you want it all proccing nicely and dealing high, like really high damage, then make sure you get the items out of the capital first before you continue up to the Forge of the Giants. If you're not too bothered and you'll just run it as is kind of thing, then don't worry about it, just progress as far as you need to. But the two things I am missing out on are the gravel stone seal, which is a seal that scales primarily with faith, and that is going to be needed in this build. I'm quite a high level for the build. I am 175, but the only stats you really need to focus on are faith, and I would say quite a lot of dex so that your casting time comes down, because these incantations do take quite a while to actually cast. But you can see all of my stats on the screen there, and the Gravelstone Seal is probably the best one for a lightning build, and that is because it boosts Dragon Cult incantations. So when you've got it max level, its incantation scaling is going to be really high, and that is going to benefit the build drastically, because Dragon Cult also stands for lightning. However, as I said, because I've made progression and I didn't pick up the item before making that progression, because I didn't really have a clue that I'd be locked out of items, but because I've made progression, I cannot get that seal. And the second item, I don't even know if I would use it realistically, but just in case I wanted to, the Sanctified Wet Blade, which is the whetstone knife, but this one will let you add a sacred or a lightning affinity to physical or golden type ashes of war. And again, because of exactly the same natural progression in the game, I can't pick up that wet blade, so therefore I've lost out on the lightning affinity to my weapons. However, you can still put a standard lightning ash of war on the weapon. It's just not really going to have any lightning attack power. It will have like the standard skill amount, but it won't have any extra. The weapon's not going to scale off lightning based stats. But those are the only two things we are locked out of, or at least I'm locked out of. The gravel seal and the sanctified or the lightning wet blade. And what I'm going to do for this build, because there is quite a lot we have to go through. We need to do the weapon, the seal, the talismans, the Flask of Wondrous Physic, and then a load of incantations as well. So what I'm going to do is just briefly go through them. None of it is too hard to get your hands on. It's just about having the area unlocked, really, and then just doing a little bit of exploration. So in terms of the weapon, you can use literally any weapon that you can apply an Ash of War to. I've just gone with a standard straight sword because I already had a plus 24, so I didn't have to spend any runes upgrading the weapon. I stuck Thunderbolt on it as my Ash of War because I really enjoy it. You kind of just poke up into the air. It's got quite a decent range on it, and it just sends literally a Thunderbolt down into the enemy's head. And if you want to get your hands on Thunderbolt, when you do make it to the capital, if you're not already there, and providing you haven't gone up to Forge of the Giants and stuff, there will be a site of grace called Avenue Balcony, and if you head northwest of there, there's going to be a teardrop beetle or a scarab, whatever you want to call them, and killing that will drop you Thunderbolt. Then we have the seal that I'm running because I can't get the gravel one, and that is the Erd Tree seal. The only reason I am running this is because it's got S tier scaling for Faith. And in order to get your hands on this one, you need to make it up to Volcano Manor. But what you need to do from the manor is make it to Prison Town Church, and then underneath there, in a little room, you are going to be able to get the Erdtree Seal. All the armor in this build is completely optional. I'm just running whatever. I don't think armor, like besides a few pieces here and there, like you've got a couple of intelligence head pieces, you've got a hood that builds up I think it's literally 1 point for your mind stat. Then there's the silver tier mask, that's going to boost your arcane. You've got the raptor feathers, or black raptor feathers, whatever they're called, and they're going to boost your jump attacks. It's literally entirely up to you what you want to wear, because most of the armor doesn't make a difference besides the damage negation and how it looks, so kind of like fashion. But moving into the talismans, I am running Radagon Soreseal purely to boost the dexterity up by +5, just so that I can bring down that casting time. And if you go to Caelid at Fort Faroth, you'll be able to find the Radagon Soreseal talisman. There are 4 stats Radagon Soreseal's going to boost, however you will take extra damage, so play this one a bit carefully. The 4 stats it will boost are Vigour, Endurance, Strength and Dexterity. Then moving into the Lightning Scorpion Charm, this is going to raise your lightning attack, but it will lower damage negation. And in order to get your hands on the Lightning Scorpion Charm, what you need to do is make your way up to the Altus Plateau region, so just outside the capital outskirts. And if you start at Altus Highway Junction, or even the Erdtree Gazing Hill, if you make your way round until you get all the way through to Seathwater River, or you can even stop at Windham Ruins, what you need to do is make your way up the hill, and you're going to come across Windham Catacombs. In there, once you make progression, there's going to be a grey fog wall, and providing you have a stone sword key, you can get rid of the fog. You can go into that little secret room, and you can grab the Lightning Scorpion Charm. It's going to boost your lightning damage by 12%. However, you are going to take an extra 10% physical damage. Next up, we have the Ritual Sword Talisman. This is going to raise the attack power of your character when your health is at maximum. So using lightning, keeping a bit of range, you should be able to utilize this by staying back a little bit and just making sure your health is always topped up. And in order to get your hands on the Ritual Sword, if you again come up to Altus Plateau, you come to the Erdtree Gazing Hill. From here, you're going to make your way round and come up to Lux Ruins. On what I believe is the northwest side, there's going to be a little staircase that leads underground. And there's basically going to be a boss fight with the demi-human Queen Gillica or Gillica. But once you take that boss down, you will be awarded with the Ritual Sword Talisman. Then the final talisman is Flock's Canvas, and that's because it greatly raises the potency of your incantations. So this is going to be really, really handy. However, this talisman is locked behind a full-on quest. That quest is Millicent, and after you have finished her actual quest, if you go back to a place called Gallery Shack, I'll show you where it is quickly now. So it's in Caelid, and at the Church of the Plague is where Millicent will start. Then if you come down to the southwest, you've got Gallery Shack. After you've completed the Millicent quest, if you come back to Gallery Shack, he's going to talk to you for a minute, but then if you attack him and kill him, he will drop you the Flock's Canvas Talisman. So that's exactly what I'm running in terms of the weapon, the seal, the armor, the talismans. Now we move into the Flask of Wondrous Physic. If you don't have your flask, then make your way from the gate front site of Grace, come down here, follow it all the way round, get yourself to the third Church of Marika. Your Flask of Wondrous Physic will be there. Inside the flask, I am running the Lightning Shrouding Cracked tier, and I'm also running the Dexterity Not Crystal tier. In order to get your hands on the Dexterity, you're going to have to come up to the lake, and if you make your way to Scenic Isle, on this little rock here, you will be able to find the Dexterity Not Crystal tier. And then from there, to get your hands on the Lightning Shrouding Crack tier, if you come all the way up and you get to the Mausoleum Compound, you head over to this minor Erd tree, you take down the boss, and you're going to get 3 different shrouded cracked tears, but one of them will be for extra lightning damage. So, weapon or weapons, armor, talismans, what I recommend you do with your flasks, your standard reds and blues, is make sure that you have either 50-50 or have 1 or 2 more of the blue ones, because you're going to be consuming a lot of FP. And just a little bonus tip, if you are wanting to proc Vike's Dragon Bolt, then what you need to do is either run your weapon of choice, and what you want to do is make sure that when you apply an Ash of War, you are doing it under the quality or the keen stat, or category, whatever you want to call it. And then if we make our way into the Site of Grace and we go to Memorize Spell, the first one we are running is Golden Vow, and this one, if you make your way up to Mount Gelmir, when you get to Bridge of Iniquity, you follow the path all the way along until you get to the Corpse Stench Shack. When you do get there, an NPC will invade you, kill the NPC, go inside the shack, and boom, Golden Vow is yours. Then we have Lightning Spear, which is one of, if not my favourite. This incantation will hurl a lightning spear right before the caster. It goes straight into your enemy's eyeballs. It really, really hurts them. I absolutely love it. It's got a relatively quick casting speed as well. To get your hands on this, you need to make your way to the Crumbling Farum Azula. And when you do get here, you have a choice to either go to the Crumbling Beast Grave Depths, or you will come to the Tempest Facing Balcony Site of Grace. And inside this massive building here, there's going to be a Dragon Prayer Book, or a Dragon Cult Prayer Book. If you then head over to the Church of Vows over in Liurnia Lake, what you can do from here is you can actually hand this in to the vendor that's there, the big turtle, and then he will unlock a load of lightning spells, or lightning incantations. And then we have Vike's Dragon Bolt, and for this one, what you need to do is make your way up to Mountaintops of the Giants, and when you are there, if you make your way up and round, you get yourself to the Freezing Lake. You have a jail for the Lord Contender. Once you take that dude down, you are going to get your hands on the Vike's Dragon Bolt incantation. Then another personal favourite, I really like this one as well. We have Fortis Sax's Lightning Spear. And in order to get your hands on the Fortis Sax Lightning Spear, you are going to need to head to Deep Root Depths. And if you come all the way to the top, there is going to be a boss fight. In there will be the dragon. So take the dragon boss down, you will get your hands on Fortis Sax's Lightning Spear. Once you do take the remembrance through to the Round Table Hold. And moving into the final incantation, we have Flame Grant Me Strength. This one will raise your physical and fire affinity attack power. It's not too helpful with the build, it's just I do like it, especially if I'm going for physical attacks. However, what you need to do to get your hands on it is, if you go to Caelid and you head over to here, you're going to see Fort Gale North. What you want to do is make your way down into the fort itself and come out the back. There'll be 2 flamethrower dudes in your way. You can either take them down, or in between where they were sitting, there will be a corpse with a piece of loot on, and that is going to be your Flame Grant Me Strength incantation. And now the build is complete, you should either have the Sanctified Whetstone so that you can do lightning affinities. If not, put a random Ash of War on your weapon. Try and make it keen or quality so that you can use Vike's Dragon Bolt. But you've got the weapon, then you've got the Erd Tree Sill or the Gravel one if you can get your hands on it. Random armor, it's entirely up to you. Radagon Soresil, the Lightning Scorpion Charm, the Ritual Sword, and then the Phlox Canvas Talisman. And in terms of the incantations for the build, you should have Golden Vow, you should have Lightning Spear, Vike's Dragon Bolt, Fortis Sax's Lightning Spear, and Flame Grant Me Strength. There are more that you can use if we have a very quick look. There are Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, you've got Ancient Dragon's Lightning Spear, there's Honed Bolt. There are quite a few in the game. Some are going to be more powerful than others, some are going to be preferred by different players. The ones that I've shown you locations and stuff for, they are just my personal preference, like I really enjoy those ones. And at the end of it, you should be able to, for a very quick example, if I just... let's not even proc anything, just use Thunderbolt. If an enemy's tracking you, they're aggroed on you, they're trying to just progress and ruin your day, then you can keep them at bay. Like this guy's going to come over and try it. So I can just pop him there, he's going to carry on getting closer. And he stands absolutely no chance. So that was a look at a lightning slash like faith dexterity build, if you want to call it that, in Elden Ring. And that is going to wrap up this video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. And I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.